stop scrolling. Stop believing everything you've been told about attraction, relationships, and what younger women want. What I'm about to reveal will change the way you see yourself, the way women see you, and the way connections are actually formed. Most men waste their lives chasing the wrong things: money, looks, status, thinking that these are the keys to a woman's heart. They are wrong, dead wrong. Younger women are not impressed by what you have. They are drawn to what you are. And what I'm going to show you today is the hidden truth that nobody dares to say: the emotional connection you create, the calm strength you radiate, and the personal growth you commit to are more powerful than any car, any suit, or any pick-up line. If you stick with me until the end of this video, you will learn why younger women are magnetically drawn to older men, not because of money, not because of looks, but because of presence, maturity, and depth, qualities that most men completely ignore. I'm going to break down the subtle, shocking ways women sense confidence, emotional security, and authenticity, and how mastering these can make you irresistible in ways you never imagined. By the time you finish watching this, you will see the real difference between men who are forgettable and men who are unforgettable. You will understand why emotional intelligence is more valuable than charm, why calm strength is more attractive than arrogance, and why personal growth beats show-offs every single time. This is not theory, this is reality, the kind of truth that changes how women perceive you, how they feel about you, and how deep the connection can become. Watch closely, because once you understand this, everything about attraction and relationships will make sense, and you will never see yourself, or women, the same way again. Most men believe that younger women are drawn to wealth, status, or physical appearance. They think that a luxury car, a sharp suit, or even the latest gadgets will make them irresistible. But let me tell you something no one else is willing to say. This is a lie. Younger women aren't shallow, and they aren't looking for a trophy. They are looking for something far deeper, something that goes beyond the surface of material things. They crave an emotional connection, a sense that they are truly seen, heard, and understood. This is the magnetic power that older men possess, whether they realize it or not. Think about it. A younger woman has grown up in a world of instant gratification, endless swipes, likes, and validation that comes and goes in seconds. She has seen charm used as a tool, words as weapons, and attention as a temporary fix. So what she really desires isn't more noise, more flattery, or more show-off moments. It's authenticity. She wants a man who can be still, who can listen without judgment, who can create a space where she feels safe to be vulnerable. And this is why older men, with their life experience and emotional depth, are uniquely positioned to fulfill this need. Emotional connection isn't about knowing the right lines to say. It's not about crafting moments that look perfect on social media. Emotional connection is about presence. It's about being there fully, without ego, without distraction, without trying to manipulate or control her feelings. Younger women sense this immediately. They can feel the difference between a man who is present and grounded versus a man who is performative or anxious. That subtle energy, that quiet confidence, speaks louder than any flashy display ever could. Older men have lived through heartbreak, loss, and disappointment. They've faced failure and learned to navigate it without losing themselves. They have endured the chaos of life and emerged with perspective, patience, and resilience. This lived experience creates a depth that younger women instinctively recognize. They are drawn to the way older men can handle emotion, not with fear or avoidance, but with understanding and empathy. And this is what sets older men apart. This is the invisible magnetism that money and looks alone cannot buy. It's also important to understand that emotional connection requires authenticity. Younger women have an innate ability to detect pretense or insecurity. If a man tries to impress her by pretending to be someone he is not, or by hiding his true self behind superficial displays, she will feel it. She will sense the lack of honesty, and the connection will collapse before it even begins. Emotional connection demands courage, the courage to be genuine, to show vulnerability, and to engage with someone else's feelings without defensiveness. And here's a truth that most men never fully grasp. When a younger woman feels a deep emotional connection, it triggers something profound within her. It isn't just attraction, it's trust, respect, and a sense of being understood on a level that transcends physical desire. She feels a bond that makes her lean in, invest emotionally, and care deeply. This is the reason why older men who have mastered emotional maturity are able to build relationships that younger women value more than any material possession. So, if you want to attract younger women in a way that is authentic and lasting, start by investing in yourself. Not your wardrobe, not your car, not your social media persona, but in your ability to understand and connect emotionally. Learn to listen, to empathize, to handle complexity without fear. Learn to sit in silence with someone without needing to fix them or impress them. That is the power that draws them closer, that creates loyalty, and that builds real intimacy. Remember this: younger women don't seek the man with the most possessions. They seek the man with the most presence. They seek the man who can navigate life with grace, understand emotions with clarity, and create a space where they feel seen and valued. Everything else is secondary. If you master this, you don't just attract attention, you create connection. And connection, real connection, is a force far stronger than any superficial charm. It is the bridge between attraction and devotion, and it is the one thing that younger women will never stop seeking in a man. Older men carry a presence that younger men simply cannot replicate. It's not about height, looks, or wealth. It's about a quiet, steady confidence that comes from having lived, having made mistakes, and having learned from them. This is the kind of energy that younger women feel immediately, even before a word is spoken. They are drawn to it because it signals something rare: stability, strength, and a mind that has been tempered by experience. This is not arrogance or ego. This is calm power, the kind of power that comes from knowing yourself, your worth, and the way you navigate the world. You see, most men spend their youth trying to prove themselves. They are restless, insecure, and constantly seeking validation. But older men have passed that stage. They understand that life is not a competition to win everyone's approval. They have endured disappointment, heartbreak, and failure, and they have emerged wiser. That wisdom shows up in subtle ways, in their gestures, in the way they speak, in the way they handle tension or disagreement. Younger women are naturally attuned to this. They can feel when a man is grounded versus when he is reactive or anxious. This calm strength is magnetic because it creates a sense of safety. Younger women crave someone who can anchor them in a world that is constantly chaotic, unpredictable, and emotionally exhausting. They want a man who does not lose himself in every storm, who does not overact when emotions run high, and who does not demand attention or approval to feel worthy. Older men have learned to manage themselves first, and this self-mastery translates into presence. They do not need to control her, fix her, or chase her. They simply exist in a space of stability that is rare and profoundly attractive. Another key aspect of this calm strength is patience. Younger men often rush, force, or manipulate situations to achieve immediate results. Older men, having lived through the consequences of impulsivity, understand timing. They know that meaningful connection cannot be rushed. They know that trust, respect, and intimacy are built gradually, with consistency and integrity. This patience is not passive, it is deliberate, intentional, and deeply reassuring. Younger women sense this intuitively. When they see a man who can wait, who can listen, who can act with thoughtfulness rather than impulse, they recognize a level of maturity that sparks deep admiration. Moreover, calm strength is intertwined with emotional intelligence. Older men have learned that strength does not mean the absence of emotion. It means the ability to feel, process, and act without being overwhelmed. They have seen life's highs and lows and have learned to navigate both with composure. Younger women feel this stability as a kind of magnetic pull. It tells them that this man can handle not only his own life, but can support her emotionally without losing himself. This is a level of reliability and reassurance that younger women often search for subconsciously. It is also important to recognize that calm strength is attractive because it is rare. In a world where most men are reactive, insecure, and desperate for attention, a man who is self-contained, steady, and emotionally resilient stands out immediately. He doesn't compete for notice. He commands it quietly through his presence. And younger women are drawn to this because it speaks to a deeper instinct. They are looking for a partner who can be a foundation, someone who can weather life's storms and emerge without chaos. The truth is, calm strength is more than a trait. It is a lifestyle. It is cultivated through reflection, self-discipline, and a willingness to face life's challenges head-on. Older men who embody this do not need to prove anything. They do not need to perform. Their energy alone communicates reliability, wisdom, and authenticity, and younger women, consciously or unconsciously, respond to this energy with trust, curiosity, and attraction. So, if you want to understand why younger women are drawn to older men, recognize this. It is not about superficial charm, flashy gestures, or temporary excitement. It is about the quiet confidence that comes from living fully, failing, learning, and rising again. It is about being a man who is grounded in himself, who faces the world with clarity, patience, and composure. That is the true magnetism that cannot be faked, bought, or forced. Remember this: younger women are not just seeking a companion. They are seeking a man who can be their anchor. And the man who embodies calm strength does not need to chase attention. He simply becomes the center of it. That presence, that energy, is the key to a connection that is meaningful, lasting, and profoundly magnetic. One of the most misunderstood truths about attraction is that younger women can feel a man's insecurity almost instantly. It doesn't matter what he says, what he wears, or how confident he appears on the surface. If a man is hiding behind a facade, seeking validation, or unsure of his own worth, she senses it immediately. This is why emotional depth and maturity are far more powerful than charm, appearance, or material possessions. Younger women are not drawn to pretense, they are drawn to authenticity. They want a man who is secure in himself, a man who doesn't need to prove his value every second. Think about it. In today's world, where social media and constant comparison create a pressure to perform, younger women have become experts at reading energy. They can tell the difference between someone who is self-assured and someone who is performing confidence. This is subtle, almost imperceptible, but it is incredibly powerful. A man who is truly secure does not overcompensate. He doesn't boast about his accomplishments. He doesn't need to manipulate her attention, and he doesn't react anxiously when she challenges him. That calm, quiet self-assurance is magnetic. It draws her in without force. In contrast, insecurity manifests in ways that are immediately noticeable. The need to impress, the constant checking for approval, the over-analyzing of every interaction, these behaviors signal instability. Younger women, even subconsciously, recognize that this energy is not safe. They are wired to seek stability, reliability, and emotional maturity in a partner because these qualities are essential for both emotional safety and long-term fulfillment. If a man cannot manage his own emotions, he cannot manage a relationship. And this is why insecurity repels, while authenticity attracts. What's shocking is how many men overlook this. They focus on superficial tactics, thinking that witty remarks, flattery, or gifts will compensate for inner insecurity. But younger women are not fooled. They instinctively gravitate toward men who have mastered themselves, who have a sense of inner peace, who can be grounded even when life is chaotic. This self-mastery is not about perfection. It is about awareness, discipline, and the courage to face one's own flaws without defensiveness. It is about being real in every sense of the word, Another aspect of this is emotional presence. Younger women are drawn to men who can be fully present, who can listen without immediately offering solutions, judgments, or opinions. They crave the ability to express themselves without fear of being misunderstood or dismissed. A man who can provide this presence, who can hold space for her emotions without reacting anxiously, demonstrates a level of security that is rare and deeply attractive. In other words, the strongest men are not those who dominate the conversation or control the interaction. They are those who can allow vulnerability without losing themselves. It is also crucial to recognize that feeling secure does not mean being passive. A secure man is decisive, consistent, and reliable, but he is not needy. He does not demand constant reassurance or validation because he already knows his worth. Younger women, consciously or unconsciously, pick up on this energy immediately. They feel it in the way he carries himself, in the way he engages, in the calm confidence that radiates from every word and action. And when they sense this security, they are drawn in, they feel safe, and they begin to invest emotionally in a way that is sincere and lasting. This is why insecurity is so costly in relationships. It creates doubt, tension, and instability. It pushes people away even when other aspects seem perfect. On the other hand, security attracts. Security is a silent, magnetic force. It tells a younger woman that she can trust him, that she can be herself around him, and that he can handle not only her emotions, but the complexities of life with composure. This is the foundation of any meaningful, lasting connection. So, if you want to understand why younger women are drawn to older men, remember this: they can feel the difference between insecurity and confidence instantly. They are not impressed by bravado, appearances, or material displays. They are captivated by emotional stability, self-assurance, and authenticity. A man who has mastered his own worth, who does not seek external validation, and who can remain grounded in the face of uncertainty becomes irresistible. Remember, this insecurity is silent, but it speaks volumes. Security is quiet, but it commands attention. Younger women do not just want a partner. They want a man who can anchor, support, and inspire them without needing constant reassurance. The difference between insecurity and security, is what separates men who are forgettable from men who are unforgettable. Emotional depth is not just a trait, it is the currency of real connection. Younger women are drawn to men who can navigate the complexities of feelings without fear, without avoidance, and without trying to dominate or fix the situation. They are not looking for a man to solve all their problems, to direct every conversation, or to control the pace of their emotions. They are looking for a man who can witness them, understand them, and respond with insight, compassion, and balance. And this is where older men have a natural advantage because emotional depth is cultivated through experience, reflection, and a willingness to face one's own inner life. Think about what emotional depth really means. It means the ability to listen, not just to hear words, but to sense meaning behind the words. It means understanding tone, energy, and unspoken needs. It means being able to sit with someone's vulnerability without judgment, without anxiety, without rushing to provide a solution. Younger women are acutely aware of this ability. They can feel the difference between a man who hears them superficially and a man who truly comprehends the layers of their experience. That comprehension creates trust, respect, and attraction all at once. Most men misunderstand emotional depth. They equate it with being sentimental, expressive, or poetic. But emotional depth is not performance. It is presence, consistency, and clarity. It is the capacity to remain steady when emotions rise, to validate without enabling, and to engage without controlling. When a man demonstrates this consistently, it sends a powerful signal: he is safe, he is reliable, and he is capable of intimacy. And this signal is what younger women crave, often without realizing it themselves. Younger women are searching for a connection that transcends superficial attraction. They want a partner who can meet them where they are emotionally, who can handle the storms of their moods and insecurities without panic, defensiveness, or withdrawal. They want someone who can navigate tension with calm, who can speak truth with kindness, and who can offer perspective without diminishing their feelings. Emotional depth is not optional. It is essential for creating a bond that is meaningful and lasting. Another critical aspect of emotional depth is the ability to manage one's own emotions first. Younger women are drawn to men who are not reactive, who do not explode or withdraw at the slightest provocation. Older men, through life experience, have learned to regulate their own emotional responses. They have faced frustration, disappointment, and conflict, and have emerged with a sense of balance and composure. This stability creates a foundation on which a younger woman feels she can safely explore her own emotions. She feels held, understood, and respected. That is the magnetic energy she cannot resist. It is also important to recognize that emotional depth is contagious. When a man demonstrates it, it encourages openness, vulnerability, and authenticity in those around him. Younger women feel encouraged to express themselves fully because they sense that they will be met with understanding rather than judgment. This creates a feedback loop. The deeper the man's emotional presence, the more she feels safe to connect, which strengthens the bond, which in turn amplifies attraction. This is why older men who have cultivated emotional depth are often more irresistible than younger men who may have physical appeal but lack this essential quality. Emotional depth also fosters respect. Younger women are drawn not just to strength, but to a man who can handle complexity with intelligence and composure. When they see that a man can navigate emotions, his own and hers, without chaos or overreaction, it signals that he is mature, capable, and trustworthy. These are qualities that cannot be faked, bought, or superficially displayed. They are earned through experience, reflection, and a conscious commitment to growth. So, if you want to understand why younger women seek older men, pay attention to emotional depth. It is not about impressing her with words, actions, or gifts. It is about cultivating the ability to feel, understand, and respond with wisdom and balance. It is about being present, listening deeply, and holding space without fear or judgment. When a man does this, he becomes magnetic in ways that are subtle but undeniable. Remember this, younger women are not drawn to surface-level charm. They are drawn to the man who can meet them emotionally, who can engage with honesty and insight, and who can create a space where vulnerability is safe. Emotional depth is the bridge between attraction and lasting connection, and it is the single quality that transforms ordinary relationships into extraordinary ones. If there is one truth that separates men who are forgettable from those who are unforgettable, it is this: personal growth beats show-offs every single time. Younger women are not impressed by bravado, flashy gestures, or a carefully curated image on social media. They are searching for substance. They are searching for a man who is actively evolving, a man who is working on himself, and a man who embodies the kind of maturity, strength, and emotional intelligence that cannot be faked. This is why older men who have invested in their own growth, through reflection, learning, and life experience, naturally attract younger women in ways that superficial charm could never replicate. Think about it. Most men spend their youth chasing validation. They measure their worth by likes, comments, attention, and temporary approval. They try to impress through possessions, status, or flattery. But all of this is fleeting. It fades. It creates no lasting connection. Younger women, especially those who are intelligent and emotionally aware, can sense this immediately. They are drawn not to what a man is trying to show them, but to who he truly is. And a man committed to personal growth exudes a type of energy that communicates stability, confidence, and resilience, qualities that are magnetic on a deeply psychological level. Personal growth is visible in subtle ways. It shows up in patience, in self-discipline, in the way a man handles challenges without panic, It shows up in his ability to communicate clearly, to listen deeply, and to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Younger women notice these nuances, often without consciously understanding why. They feel it in the calm presence of a man who has mastered his own life, and that feeling resonates far more powerfully than any superficial charm could. Another reason personal growth is so attractive is that it signals security. A man who is growing is not desperate for approval. He does not need constant reassurance that he is worthy or desirable. His confidence is rooted in experience, reflection, and a clear understanding of his own value. This security is magnetic because it creates a sense of safety. Younger women are drawn to a man who does not waver under pressure, who can navigate conflict, disappointment, and emotional complexity with grace. They sense that he is a partner who will stand firm in difficult times rather than crumble or flee. Personal growth also reflects self-awareness. It is the ability to recognize your own flaws, to face them honestly, and to work intentionally toward improvement. Younger women can sense the difference between a man who is aware and evolving and a man who is stuck in ego, pride, or denial. Awareness communicates intelligence, maturity, and emotional resilience. These qualities are not learned overnight. They are developed through years of reflection, experience, and conscious effort. And when a man embodies them, younger women are naturally drawn to him because they recognize that he can offer a level of connection, stability, and understanding that others cannot. Moreover, personal growth aligns with emotional availability. A man committed to growth understands that relationships require effort, empathy, and honesty. He does not shy away from vulnerability because he has faced his own fears and insecurities. He can engage with a younger woman authentically, without manipulation, without neediness, and without pretense. This authenticity is magnetic because it creates trust and intimacy. Younger women instinctively respond to it, feeling seen, understood, and valued in ways that superficial charm could never achieve. The critical insight here is that personal growth is not just about becoming more attractive. It is about becoming more capable of sustaining a meaningful, lasting connection. Younger women do not simply want a partner, they want someone who is evolving alongside them, someone who can meet life's challenges with wisdom, strength, and presence. They are drawn to men who embody this growth because it reflects the type of life and relationship they desire, one built on authenticity, respect, and emotional intelligence. So if you want to understand why younger women are drawn to older men, recognize this: it is not about status, appearances, or temporary charm. It is about the continuous investment in yourself. It is about the courage to face your flaws, the discipline to improve, and the commitment to grow emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Personal growth is the foundation upon which attraction, trust, and lasting connection are built. Remember this: younger women are not impressed by what you show. They are captivated by who you are becoming. Your growth is your power, your presence is your magnetism, and your authenticity is your ultimate appeal. Invest in yourself relentlessly, and you will naturally attract the connection, respect, and devotion that many men spend their lives chasing but never truly understand.